even our relationships to solid objects. Like you think that, you know, this this pen is a black pen, but that's just a story about it. And actually, you
hmm
can only know your perspective of it. And so,
hmm
like, some people will relate this as a black pen, and somebody that's never seen a pen before, an alien, would relate to this
hmm
completely different. So, what actually is reality? And
hmm
also, you're saying that it's black. Really, that's just what the cones and rods in your eye are able to
hmm
interpret. Like what, like an animal with different cones and rods in their eyes that see a different spectrum. For example, a mantis shrimp that can see in
hmm
the electromagnetic spectrum, it wouldn't just say this is black. It wouldn't see this color as the same thing. It would see
hmm
in a completely different mode of perception. And so then what actually is reality?
hmm Well, and that's the thing too. Like everything that we're seeing, it's like only a tiny sliver of act of like of the spectrum of light and vibration.
Like when we can talk super openly and are totally willing to be wrong, and I'm
Yeah.
totally willing to be wrong. But what if like the lessening of the brain activity is really just the lessening of the narrative or the
Mm-hmm.
contraction placed upon a more vast experience of reality. And so, like, as the brain activity lowers, actually what's happening is the filter or the aperture is widening.
Mm-hmm.
Awareness takes no effort to be
Yeah,
aware.
totally. Because it always is aware.
It always is aware.
And it's really the activity of the ego is obscuring it and like overlaying it and is obscuring the activity that's already always being taken in.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. That little crack in the wall of thought and activity just starts to get like it's just like it's a little crack and then it slowly gets bigger and slowly gets bigger and bigger and then this stuff gets looser. It's just amazing. It's incredible. And then it's like and then like all the other like magic kind of sensory intuitive stuff is become so much more clear. And then it's like
Yeah.
mhm,
And if people
mhm,
trace this sense back to what is actually happening is the release of a rigid structure of you being a doer or you being a me or you being a
mhm,
separate entity or a separate agent. You're there's just this open vastness that allows for that. It
mhm,
allows for this experience. And like
mhm.
everybody's had this, but so few people investigate like what it is or why it is. Right. Yeah. You don't need to write a narrative. Just like be present to the leading edge of the unfoldment of the universe.
Yeah,
And the
totally.
the way to do that is to let go of narrative,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just to be purely present as
hmm
the unfoldment of this eternal now.
hmm
That's
hmm
like one of the major, it's like one of the major lessons in all of this is that the more you can be just open and present and not prescriptive, the more the magic of now is felt.
hmm
And it can be felt as serendipity or auspiciousness or even just a good general feeling. But those good general feelings are generally associated with a letting go and
hmm
just a pure being. Yeah, it's riding the wave of the unfoldment of the eternal now.
when you really see someone and there's just love there and you have no idea who they are and it's not like they are like the love of your life or anything. It's just like when you see when we are seen and see others, there's just love there. There's just a natural love and it's like whew, it's so nice. Like, just
Totally.
to just take it in and to like be happy and loving for no reason at all.
Totally. And that oftentimes that's easier to do with strangers because there's
Hmm.
not already a story there that you have of them. But
Totally.
oftentimes people develop stories as soon as they see them, depending
Hmm.
on what they're wearing or how they're walking, like you automatically live your
Hmm.
story of them. But without that, yeah, there is just a pure love for just how and what they are. Not
Hmm.
necessarily what they appear, but there's a deeper sense of like how they are,
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
they are, what is being expressed here. And
Hmm.
it's actually this, like, I know you've felt in the same way. Like whenever we go out exploring, when we explore in a new
Hmm.
place that we've never been, it's so magical. It's so wide open. It's just
Hmm.
like so raw and vibrant, and there's just this pure isness that's so easy to just join in and
Hmm.
be. Like there's just open vastness and it's just purely magical.
Hmm.
But then if you go back to it the second time, it's oftentimes less magical because now you
Hmm.
have a story about that place. You have
Hmm.
an expectation about that place to show up or look a certain way, and
Hmm.
it's never going to show up as the same way as your story. And so there's this like slight discontentment with
Hmm.
how you experience that same space in the second time. Giving people, especially the people that you know and love the most, the the space to live outside of your own narrative of them, I
Hmm.
think is a very compassionate and empathic thing to do for somebody.
Totally. Yeah. And it makes life easier.
It does.
You
It
know?
does on both parties.
Hmm. And that's really something that's needed now. Right now,
Totally.
And
Totally.
it's not doing anything.
And that's the point. It's not
Yeah.
doing anything. It's the total release of doing anything that
Yeah.
allows for
Hmm.
this healing of relationship. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you. All my love.